Look closely at this swarm. Hundreds of thousands of independent lives, yet not a single collision. No commander, no blueprint. Just a haunting, liquid grace that seems to defy the laws of physics. Have you ever seen a flock of birds turn in mid-air as if they were controlled by a single, invisible hand? How is it that a hive of 50,000 bees can make a life or death decision, choosing a new home with 99% accuracy without a single leader ever giving an order? We've been taught to celebrate the individual. We've been told that intelligence is something contained within a single skull, protected by bone and ego. But what if that's the greatest lie of our biology? Is it possible that the individual is just an illusion? A fragment of a much larger, more terrifyingly beautiful machine? What if the real intelligence, the kind that survives ice ages and cosmic shifts, doesn't live inside of us, but in the connection between us? Nature doesn't see a forest as a collection of trees or a hive as a collection of insects. It sees a super-organism. Today, we are stepping beyond the ego. We are exploring the hidden code of the hive mind, the place where biology ends and the collective consciousness begins. When a honeybee colony outgrows its home, it faces a crisis. 10,000 bees are suddenly homeless, clustered on a branch, exposed and vulnerable. In this moment, they don't look like a society. They look like a single golden heart beating in the wind. But inside this cluster, a sophisticated living computer is booting up. Hundreds of scout bees fly out in every direction, surveying the landscape for miles. But they aren't looking for flowers, they are looking for sanctuary. When a scout finds a potential hollow tree, she doesn't just keep the secret. She returns to the cluster and begins the waggle dance. This is more than movement. It's a data upload. By shimmying her body at a specific angle relative to the sun, she is encoding the exact GPS coordinates of the new home. But here is where it gets impossible. Other scouts listen. They fly to the site, inspect it, and if they agree, they return and dance even harder. It's a biological debate. If a site is poor, the dance fades. If it's perfect, the vibrational volume increases until a quorum is reached. They don't need a queen to sign off on the plans, they reach a consensus through the sheer weight of shared evidence. How do 50,000 minds reach a decision with such staggering accuracy? Scientists have found that the hive's collective choice is almost always superior to the choice of any single expert bee. It is a democratic brain, a system that filters out individual error to find a collective truth. They aren't just insects. They are a parallel processor made of wings and pheromones. Once the threshold is met, a signal ripples through the cluster. In an instant, the heart explodes into the sky. 10,000 individuals move as one, flying at 20 miles per hour toward a future they all agreed upon. But while the bees use the air to communicate, there is a far older, far larger mind hidden beneath your feet. One that has been networking the entire planet for 1 billion years. To see the largest brain on Earth, you have to look down. Beneath the moss and the fallen leaves lies a sprawling subterranean internet that has been online for over 1 billion years. This is the mycelium, a vast network of fungal threads so dense that a single teaspoon of soil can contain miles of it. We call it the Wood Wide Web, and it is the ultimate biological supercomputer. Is the forest floor actually a living internet? The answer is a resounding yes. Through these fungal highways, trees talk to their neighbors. They don't just exist side by side, they trade. Using the mycelium as a bridge, a healthy tree can funnel excess sugar and carbon to a struggling sapling in the shade. It is a system of sacred resource management, where the forest ensures its own survival by supporting its weakest members. But the communication goes deeper than food. If a tree on one side of the forest is attacked by aphids, it sends a high-speed chemical distress signal through the fungal lines. Within hours, trees half a mile away begin pumping bitter toxins into their leaves to prepare for the invasion. They are a synchronized army, warned by a silent underground intelligence. It's a literal vibrational alignment that turns a group of plants into a unified consciousness. But what happens when these invisible connections are severed? When we disrupt the soil or clear-cut the giants, we aren't just losing trees, we are unplugging the mind of the forest. The individual trees become isolated, vulnerable, and mute. They lose their unfair advantage. It's a chilling reminder that in nature, as in our own lives, being alone is a design flaw. The mycelium proves that the most powerful networks are the ones you cannot see. But while the earth has its silent web, the sky has a visible masterpiece of collective motion, one that uses the laws of math to turn thousands of individuals into a single liquid shadow. It's time to look up at the geometry of the murmuration. In the subterranean world, the network is built on threads. But in the sky, it is built on pure math. Every autumn, hundreds of thousands of starlings take to the sky to perform one of the most breathtaking displays of the hive mind, the murmuration. From a distance, it looks like a single liquid entity, a shadow that stretches, folds, and dances with impossible speed. But how do 750,000 individuals fly at 50 miles per hour without a single collision? The secret isn't a leader, it's a number. Scientists have discovered that each bird doesn't try to track the whole flock. That would be a data overload. Instead, every bird only responds to its 7 closest neighbors. This is the rule of 7. When one bird turns, its 7 neighbors react. Their movement triggers their 7 neighbors, and so on. It creates a ripple effect, a geometric wave that travels across the entire swarm at speeds that defy human reaction time. By maintaining this vibrational alignment, the individual disappears. When a falcon dives into the swarm, it doesn't see 1,000 targets. It sees a shifting, solid wall of motion. The swarm becomes a super predator of its own. It is a masterpiece of decentralized control. No one is in charge, yet everyone is in sync. It's the ultimate proof that when you align your frequency with those around you, you become part of something indestructible. This isn't just biology, it's a blueprint for human potential. For those of us managing communities, whether it's a wellness group of 50,000 or a small creative team, the lesson is clear. True power isn't about leading from the front. It's about ensuring that every individual is in alignment with those closest to them. When the rule of 7 is working, the community becomes its own living computer. But can humans truly step into this flow state on a global scale? Or are we still stuck in the illusion of the self? We like to think of ourselves as the ultimate individuals, islands of consciousness in a sea of chaos. But the biology of the swarm didn't stop at the beehive or the forest floor. It's written into our very DNA. When we step into a stadium, a protest, or a high-performing team, something strange happens to our physiology. We stop being I and start being we. Neuroscientists call it neural coupling. When humans are deeply engaged in a shared task or story, our brainwaves actually begin to mirror one another. We enter what is known as a flow state, a collective trance where individual egos dissolve and the group begins to function as a single parallel processor. In these moments, our reaction times sharpen, our creativity explodes, and we begin to move with the same rule of 7 precision as a flock of starlings. This is the human super-organism. We see it in the way a global digital community can solve a complex scientific puzzle in hours that would take a single genius a lifetime. We are a living computer built of silicon and synapses. Just like the mycelium, our digital networks have allowed our thoughts to travel at the speed of light, creating a global hive mind that is constantly trading information, warning of threats, and seeking out the next sacred target. But here is the wild fact we often miss. Being part of the swarm isn't a choice. It's our natural state. We are biologically wired to sync. When we disconnect, we don't just get lonely. We lose our processing power. We become a fragment of a masterpiece that we were never meant to finish alone. The individual is a fragment. The community is the masterpiece. From the subterranean internet of the forest to the democratic debates of the hive, nature proves that intelligence isn't a solo act. It is a symphony of connections. We aren't just living in the world. We are the neurons of a planet-sized computer that has been calculating survival for billions of years. When we align our frequency with the grid, we tap into a power that no individual can match. You are part of this swarm. You are a node in this ancient living network. And if you're ready to stop living in low resolution and start seeing the true code of the world, you're in the right place. Thank you for joining the WildFact Lab Hive today. If this journey into the collective expanded your reality, hit that subscribe button and share this with your network. But don't get too comfortable in the safety of the group, because next week we look at the rebels. For our grand finale, we explore the impossible, the outliers that defy the laws of physics, survive the vacuum of space, and even conquer death itself. You aren't ready for the ultimate unfair advantage. I'll see you in the next dimension.